Welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. Today we are going to be setting the beehives up in preparation for receiving 2 NUCs. What I found out the difference between introducing a package of bees and a NUC to a new hive is that a package of bees, you'll just basically put the box inside of the hive, take the sugar water can out, take the queen out in her cage, and uncork it and put the cage down in between the frames, and then the bees will just climb right on out of there and start their colony in the frames. And once the cage is empty, you just go ahead and pull that cage out and replace the space with 5 additional frames. These are 10 frame hives. This is a super, a deep, and this is a shallow. They do have a medium size. I don't have mediums. We just have deeps and shallows. The shallows are primarily my honey supers. Because they're smaller, they'll be easier to lift off of because when they get loaded with honey, they're really heavy. So I'm just going to make sure this is set up. We're going to have only 5 frames in here to receive 5 NUC frames, and then I've got the entrance reducer already in. I got it plugged with grass, so when we introduce the bees, we'll just go ahead and keep that closed up for 24 hours to let the bees get acclimated. And then when they get the following day on Tuesday, I'll come out and we'll just pull the grass out and let the bees come and go and forage. I'm going to take the lid off. The sugar water feeder is going to be too high for this super because this is shallow. I'm going to go ahead and put a regular deep on here. And what this is just a regular jar with tiny little holes punched in the lid, so when you turn it upside down, the bees can come up here and just lick on that nectar that goes out of here. Now the solution, since this is early spring, the solution I'm going to put in here is 1 part water, 1 part sugar, and it's a dry sugar is what I'm using. It's an organic sugar, so we're going to go ahead and get this set up. We'll just set this down, and then I'll take my super off. Now this is an inner cover. This will go over the 10 frames of the bees, and then the feeder will go right on top of that. So let's swap this box out. Okay, we'll set this down here and we'll fetch the blue super. Ah, it's on top. Yay. These are some pollen patties I have. I'll be feeding the bees some pollen patties. And this is full of frames, so I'm going to go ahead and pull those out of there. Okay, they'll go up there like that. I'm going to go ahead and remove 5 frames. Let's see. We'll get rid of this one. Let's see. The NUC frames we'll just put right down in the middle. Okay, we'll put the inner cover on. We'll put the deep super on. Okay, I got my 2 pieces of wood to stick down in there. And this just goes right down over the top of it, so the bees can come up through this little vent hole and then go right into there and feed. And then we'll put the cover on. And this hive is set up in preparation for receiving the first NUC. And now we'll get the other one set up. Okay, this one's ready. We'll put the inner cover on. We'll put the super on, the deep super. And this particular feeder is designed to fit into the entrance like this. And then that way you can just feed them without disturbing the hive like this. But since it's early spring and it's still pretty cold at nights and stuff, I'm going to go ahead and feed them from inside. This I don't need the sticks because it's got this little thing. I'll just set it down inside there. Because I suspect they'll probably be eating 24/7 to get the hive established. I want to make a good impression on the bees when they come. I want them to be able to be happy and satisfied and think this is a nice home to stay at, and they won't fly away like so many bees do once you re-hive a colony. So I'm going to try to make their transition just as pleasant as possible, and that helps me with my success as a new beekeeper. This will be my first time hiving a colony. When I purchased all of these, they came with 1 week colony. I didn't even know if there was a queen in there because the lady that sold the whole outfit to me, sold it to me at a discount. She was just retiring and wanted to get out of beekeeping. And so she sold everything to me at a real deep discount, and wasn't even sure there was a queen in there. So maybe that's why the bees just decided to up and leave. So this time I'm going to try to do everything right. So let's put the roof on. So I'm fortunate enough to where I live in a relative close proximity to Shastina Millworks. In fact, my son's best friend works there in the manufacturing. And so hopefully I can get some discounts. So stay tuned. There's more videos to come on beekeeping. I am learning beekeeping. And I am just showing you guys what I'm learning, when I'm learning it, how I'm learning it. So the next video will be on introducing the NUCs to my hives. Try not to leave any questions about beekeeping right now because I know very little about beekeeping, but I am, each stage I am researching. I've read the Beekeepers for Dummies 4 times already. I've watched several online videos and grabbed what is the best information off of there from the more credible websites to try to get more good information on beekeeping. So I know some of you are saying join a beekeepers association. I can't. It's inconvenient for me at this time because of the hours and days I work to the hours and days that they meet, and plus my distance that I have to travel to get to one, and plus the money it costs for me to travel back and forth. I simply don't have that kind of finances, so that's my excuse. So meanwhile, I'm looking on the University of YouTube and trying to educate myself the best I can. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen, here at Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I want to thank you guys for coming and tuning in again for more videos. Please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and leave a comment. Subscriptions are free, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.